Alright, here we go. So, basically, I wanted to do something a little different from usual. You know, you've been doing the GCF stuff, and we'll continue with that. But I'm giving you a different little activity, and I wanted a video to go along with it so I could kind of explain it better. Because I feel like the GCF stuff's pretty straightforward. This might be a little less so. So I wanted to go ahead and give you a video with it. So it's a budget activity, and this is to help you in the future. It might help you right now, but I'm assuming most of you, once you go get your jobs and career jobs, that this is going to be possibly something you look back on and think it was beneficial. So the first piece, obviously, you need to figure out is that career job. So you've got plenty of time to think about what you want to do, but this is a good time to explore that job. Can you live the way you want to live with the career you're possibly going to go with? So, that being said, you're going to go over to Indeed.com and find a job that's posted. I don't want you just going and finding a job and saying, well, this is the salary it said on Google. I want you to find something on Indeed that's posted with a salary. It might be a salary range, which is fine, but just kind of pick the average of that. From there, you're probably going to need a mode of transportation, so you'll probably need a car. You're going to want to be able to make payments on that. You're also going to need a place to live, like a house or an apartment. You need to also think about, am I buying or am I renting? Right now, in the market we have, it's actually a lot cheaper to just go ahead and buy, it seems. In some cases, it might not be for everyone, but a house payment can be just about as much as what rent would be. I came to that conclusion, and I've just recently purchased a house in the past year because it was the same as what I was paying for basically a townhouse within Greenville. So that all being said, you've got to make those decisions. I made that decision, and I'm really happy with it. So that's something important. For the car, just go to any kind of car dealership. Might be used cars, might be new car. That's another decision you have to make. Do you want a new car or used car? There's pros and cons to both. Used car is cheaper, but is it going to last you as long? New car, a whole lot more expensive, but hopefully it's going to last you long, and most likely you're going to have those type of deals on it that would help you, get your oil changed for free for the next couple of years, so you don't have to have those expenses sometimes. So you're going to go to any car dealership. My example for you is Lee Chevrolet. I'm a Chevy person, so that's the one I chose for you. And then for the house or apartment, you're going to go to Realtor.com, and you can choose between buying or renting on there. There's a little option on that website. So with all those are your big things you need to find: your job, your car, and your house. Along with that, though, you're going to have a lot of things like utilities and multiple other things. Utilities, for instance, I have my utility bill right here. My college professor once did this. He pulled up his own bill right from his mail and talked about how if you don't pay your utility bill, you're going to have your lights cut off. For instance, I just said, I moved out kind of into the suburbs of Greenville, so now I have to pay Eastern Pines Water Corporation as well, and it's not all put in together. In the wash, it's about the same amount of money, but it's two bills that I have to remember to pay, and it's important to make sure you're remembering which bills you need to pay and what you need to do to make sure you're getting that money in. You've got to make sure you're getting your groceries, you're budgeting enough money for groceries so you can eat to live, your gas to get to and from work, to get to and from wherever you need to go, your insurance on cars and your house and all that stuff. You might have to just kind of guesstimate on that. I don't want you having to go into too much detail looking up insurance, but you can probably Google what the insurance on this type of house would be, what kind of insurance on this type of car would be. You need to think about your phone bill. Everyone's got a cell phone these days, so make sure you're thinking of that as well, because they're not free, obviously. And then you also need to think about you're paying for internet probably at your home. And those are probably the main bills. If you're thinking of anything else, your credit card, hopefully you're using your credit card to buy gas or groceries if you're using that. So again, you can budget a credit card in if you want, but hopefully it's paying for some of these things I just mentioned. Lastly, you're going to also want to think about saving money, so you're having that little bit of money you're putting aside in case something happens. You have a washing machine today, it might break tomorrow. Your refrigerator might stop working tomorrow. You need to go ahead and get money for the refrigerator. And if all your food went bad, you have to think about that too. Air conditioning is expensive. It can go out easily, and most of the time if it goes out, it's going to go out probably in July. So, because that's usually how it all works out for everyone. Lastly, but also importantly, you need to have time for those fun things. Are you buying a game system? For me, I'm a big into playing hockey, so I had to budget into my budget buying all of my hockey equipment and all those things. Also, I know a lot of you end up wanting a pet of some sort, and they're not free. So, well, sometimes they are, but all the other things within them are not free. For instance, taking them to the vet, buying their food, their treats, all that stuff. For instance, you know, you want to train him so he'll give you a high five. He won't do it now. He'll do it once the video's over. But anyway, so you got to think about those things and, you know, decide if you are going to be able to afford something like that. I don't have that in my example budget that I offered you, but feel free to open, you know, and put more things that you want in there. But that's something important. I know a lot of you love pets. You got to think about, can you afford said pet? Because you got to make sure you're taking care of them too. So those are a lot of things. Like I said, I'm going to do a screen recording so I can show you all these things. We'll go through Realtor, we'll go through what car dealership, and we'll also go through Indeed.com. And again, you have this Word document that I'm going to share with you in the announcements along with this video, and I have a example budget. But I don't want you just copying that. I want you to have your own little thing. So make sure you're doing that too. So other than that, I'm going to cut to now the screen recording, and you can see that. High five? Okay. Bye. Alright, so, like I just said, I'm going to show you some, basically how you're doing this within each website. So, let's start with Indeed, where you're searching for a job. For instance, back when I was not hired yet by a school, I had to look for jobs, and this was one way to do it, is to, you know, search in what you're trying to find, and I found, you know, a business teacher position right here needed in Edgecombe County, but trust me, I am not leaving. I would not leave my alma mater for anything in this world. So basically, here's where you could apply for everything, and it doesn't look like they have the salary listed. So if for some reason you really are interested in one career, you cannot find a, you know, one that has a salary, then it's okay if you need to, you know, Google what's the average salary for this position. But make sure you add where you're at. It's, in my opinion, it's really important to know that where you're at is going to matter. You know, people talk a lot about, well, oh, if you move to Charlotte or to Raleigh, you can make a whole lot more money. Well, that's true, but you're also going to have to pay for things, and they're going to be a little bit more expensive there than what they are here in Greenville, for instance. So just keep that in mind, that, you know, you may make more money here, but the cost of living there is going to be more expensive. Now we're going to look at this website. This is Lee Chevrolet's website. You can go to any car or truck website, you know, to buy a vehicle, any car dealership. I'm going to look for a new vehicle here at Lee Chevrolet, and I'm going to come down here and just find something. I really one day would like a Colorado, guys, but I don't know if that's in the cards right now, and I don't even see one on their website, so I might have to go with Silverado. We'll just see. Oh, I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time looking through cars. That could become a really long process. So this is a very expensive truck, and what you can do is come right down here to the payment calculator, and as you can see right here, the cost of this truck is $50,533. I'm saying that I don't have any trade-in, I don't have any balance owed or anything like that. So this is a very rough estimate. And if I'm paying this off for 60 months, it's going to be $856.95 a month, which is pretty pricey. And if we did it for just a year, it would be $3,552 a month, and that is a very pricey payment on a vehicle. So you probably don't want to get a $50,000 truck as your first real vehicle unless you are making the big bucks. And it's cool, you can look through all these things. Again, it doesn't have to be Lee Chevrolet. You go to whatever car website you want. Note, most of them will have this payment calculator. If you go to more of a locally used car owner or something like that, if they have a website, they might not have this up here, so just heads up. But anything like Ford, Chevy, Toyota, Honda, anything like that, they'll probably have a calculator on there. Next, you're going to go to Realtor, and it already has my location in there. So we're going to search for buying, and you can see there's a spot for renting right there as well. And we're just going to go ahead and click on this first house that pops up. And let's say I wanted to buy this one. As you can see right here, they have a mortgage calculator, a monthly payment that shows you, you know, exactly how much it would be a month. If you have a house that's cost $167,500, you put a down payment of $33,500, and you are paying $724 a month. You see, rent at a lot of places can be about that much, so it's important for you to notice that. That's if they're on a 30-year fix, so you're paying that off for 30 years. That's a long time, obviously. If you're doing it for 20 years, you're paying $882 a month. And then 10 years, you're going to be paying a whole lot more, and you're paying $1,412 a month. But you paid it off in 10 years. So that being said, that's where I talked about the difference. Right now, it's renting and buying, at least for a while, is similar in the cost. Now there are pros and cons to each. Obviously, if there's a house, you own that house. If you're renting, you don't own the property. But with that being said, if something messes up, like your toilet or your sink, you can actually they'll come and fix that, and you don't have to. Now, if it's your home, you have to fix it, and you're going to have to call someone or fix it yourself. So that's what's important to think about as well. So, and obviously, this is Wimbledon just has this listed because this is the range based off of the unit you're getting. If you're getting a smaller unit, you're going to have this price. If you're getting a larger unit, you'll have this price. So just keep that in mind. So that's all of the main three things you need to look up. And then just to help you out, I have a few more links right here. This one is a paycheck calculator. If you can't figure out what your monthly income would be based off your salary, for instance, if you made $42,308, that's a kind of random number there. But you'd make $1,399. And they even kind of estimated what your tax deduction. Or no, they didn't. They've got your state insurance taxes in there, but they don't have your pre-tax deduction. They do have some taxes in there. They don't have everything, but again, it's a rough estimate, and that's all I care about right now is for you to see kind of what the cost of living is. Here is a calculator from the credit union, and there's options for a vehicle. There's options for a home loan. All these different things that'll help you possibly. And then lastly, I have Kelley Blue Book if you were interested in a specific car or something like that. Basically, just to help you, find a car. You'd also look up your car now if you wanted to, and you can see how much it's worth. Don't get too disappointed in that though, because you can drive it right off the lot and it starts to go off. The price goes down very quickly. So that being said, there's some cool things to look at. I'm trying to give you something kind of more fun and interesting to do while you're at home doing all this stuff. Just another little tip: Indeed is a good place to look for, a car, or not a car. I'm sorry. Is a good place to look for a summer job so you can help pay off your car. That's what I was trying to say. If you have car payments or you're trying to buy your first car, this would be a good place to start looking for a summer job or just a little part-time job. All that being said, I'm hoping these are giving you some good tools that you can learn how to use and everything like that. If you have any questions, again, email me, text me, call me, whatever you need to do. I'm usually pretty quick responding, as you all may know, if you've emailed or done anything else in the past couple of days. But this is your assignment. You need to have this done by Thursday. This will be part of your assignment Thursday, and we might start something else, depending on what it's looking like by the end of the day today. But most likely you'll have today and tomorrow to work on this, and then Friday we'll start something new. So again, if you have any questions, any concerns, just let me know, and we can go from there. So, all right, y'all have a good week.